In this video, I'll be talking about why I dislike Dave Ramsey's advice and what I do differently. Hey, what's up? I'm Marc Terribilini, and I'm all about achieving financial independence through real estate investing and online business. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking to achieve financial freedom for yourself, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps me out, and I'll be sure to keep cranking out these videos. So if you haven't heard of Dave Ramsey, he is the host of the Dave Ramsey Show, where people call in with their financial questions and he offers clarity on those questions to give his best advice for a better financial future. And I agree with a lot of what he says, but there's some areas where I differ. So I want to go over what he talks about and kind of where I differ on his approach. So what's great about Dave Ramsey is he offers basic financial intelligence. If you don't know how to manage your finances at all, you have a lot of credit card debts and your finances are kind of all over the place, this is a great place to start because you can gain clarity on where you are and where you want to go. So it's a great place to start. Another thing he likes you to do is basically pay off all your credit card debts. And this is really good because if you have high interest credits and you just have a large balance on that credit card, you're losing money every single month paying those interest rates. So paying off your credit card debt is a great thing. And he even goes as far as to say to cut up your credit cards. If someone has a really bad spending problem, cutting up those credit cards and using just cash or maybe a debit card would be better because you're not tempted to use credit at that point. The next one would be to pay off your auto loans. And if you have a really expensive car, flashy car, it's probably best to sell it and just get something more affordable so you don't have a car payment. So you can use that money to pay off your other debts or save for investments. So if you have a student loan at all, he likes you to just throw your money at that, heavily until that's paid off. And then lowering your cost of living. If you live in an expensive area, try and find a smaller place or have roommates or do whatever you can to lower your cost of living so you can save more money and, again, use it to pay off debt or to invest. You would definitely want to have an emergency fund. You want to save up a certain amount of money so in case you lose your job or there's a medical issue or any kind of issue that comes up, you need to replace something that breaks and whatever it is, you have enough money to cover yourself and be safe there. The next one would be investing. He likes it when you invest 15% of your household income every single month. And this way you can start investing early and then do that over time, and it'll eventually grow over time. He likes it when you invest into a 401k. He likes mutual funds, a Roth IRA, are all good options in his book to invest and then do that consistently over time every month. Now, if you have paid off your credit card debt, you've paid off your student loans, you have an emergency fund, then he says you can buy a house. And to do that, you have to use a mortgage, but he likes it where you basically pay that off as fast as possible. He wants you to put your money into the investment accounts, 15% each month, but then any remaining you have, throw it at your mortgage, get rid of that debt as fast as possible. So that's what he wants you to do there. And it has to be a modest house. Obviously, don't buy a huge, flashy house. Buy something modest that you can afford. And that's basically kind of where it goes. So you do that, you pay off your house, and then if you want to invest in real estate or something at that point, you would save up cash and then go out and buy another property basically with cash. And that's where I kind of differs here. So I'll circle back to the credit cards first. I think credit cards are a great tool, and I've been using credit cards since I was about 18, and I don't think I've ever paid an interest payment. If I have, it's been very, very little, probably a few bucks, maybe. Every single month, actually every few days, I log into my bank account and I zero out that credit card balance, always. So I never pay any interest, like ever, and I get the 1% to 2% cash back, so I'm getting a discount on my purchases. So that's what's great about that. And then the second benefit of that is you're building your credit over time. So if you have low credit and you do this, it's going to build your credit, which ties into the next point here. Credit gives you options. And Dave Ramsey believes that basically all debt is bad. All debt is bad. He wants to get rid of it completely, so you're completely safe and, no problem. But other investors look at debt differently. There's good debt and bad debt. Bad debt would be credit card debt, high interest debt, basically purchasing liabilities that produce no return for you. Good debt is where you purchase an asset of some kind that produces income and you get a return on it. So a good example would be real estate investing. So you put down a down payment, you leverage the bank's money to purchase a property, you put a renter in there, they pay the rent, the taxes, the insurance, and you get a little bit of cash flow, maybe a couple $100 every month. And that would be considered good debt. And the thing is you want to do that safely. So you can put down like 3.5% at first, and that's maybe where you have to start. You might have to put down a low down payment just to get your foot in the door with real estate to get started. My first property, I put down, I think 13%. My second property, I put down 10% just to get started. It's best, if you want to be safer, probably to have about 35% equity in each rental property. So when you get started, it might be less, but as your portfolio grows, you can kind of move things around and be in that kind of safer position. And I think that is a responsible way to scale your real estate portfolio versus saving like just all cash. If you were going to save just all the cash and go out and buy a property, it would take years, hundreds of years probably, because I mean, how long would it take you to save multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars? And the thing is when you're saving that money, you're losing it. If it's not invested, you're losing it in through inflation. And properties are getting more expensive over time. So if you can just get in the market, use the bank's money, and then you get appreciation on the property, and the tenants are paying off the mortgage, you can scale a lot faster that way. You can buy properties a lot faster, make your money go a lot further. So it's calculated risk. And I had to make a decision years ago. When I moved to Texas, I had about $150,000 worth of student debt. And I had the choice of putting all my extra money and paying off that student debt. Everything towards that. I could do that, or I could save up my money and purchase a rental property. And so that was my choice. And I decided to go with real estate. And I just paid the minimum on my student loans and purchased the real estate because, like I said, it was calculated risk. I bought in Austin, Texas, so it was a growing area, lots of jobs and growth, a strong real estate market. Like everything was going in the right direction. And I decided, I was like, okay, I think this is going to be the better choice long-term to buy a rental property than to pay off my student loans. And that was by far the best choice I could have made. If I didn't, I would maybe have paid off my student loan debt by now. But if I was following Dave Ramsey's approach, I'd have to save, multiple hundred thousands of grand, $400,000 or $500,000 to even purchase a property. And that would take years to do. And so instead, I put down, like I said, like 13% to buy my first property, got into that one, or as a rental. And then I bought my primary with 10% down. And by doing that, I have improved my financial situation drastically. Like I said, if I just saved student loans, I'd be about at zero now. And I'm in a much better financial situation now because I decided to invest in real estate and use calculated risk to buy investments, leveraging the bank's money versus just, crimping down and saving and, paying off, every debt that I have to invest in real estate or something later down the road. So I'm a big fan of buy real estate and wait versus waiting to buy real estate. So I just got in and, the appreciation in the markets has, helped me financially drastically. So that's where I differ with Dave Ramsey is I believe you can take a responsible approach to debt and use it to your advantage to grow your wealth a lot faster than you would otherwise. So if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.